So besides a put wall, what's some other automation you're seeing out there?
Well, again, I said the automated mobile robots, autonomous mobile robots, or AMRs. There's a huge interest in that. One of the interesting things is that both put walls and mobile robots, you're seeing a lot of adoption and interest by third-party logistics companies, and I think this really just makes the point. In the past, 3PLs were very reluctant to do any kind of heavy automation because they couldn't sync the return on investment with the contracts that they had from the shipper. So if the shipper, if it, to pay off that equipment is going to take 5, 7, whatever years, and the shipper's only going to keep you a 2 or 3 year contract, the risk of automation is just too great. Well, these other kind of systems, and that includes also things like voice and pick to light, smart cards, things like that. They're all kind of connected in some ways. But those kind of systems can be put in for much less expense, much lower risk, and again be incrementally adapted. You can start with 3 mobile robots and see how you like it, and then add 7 more later on or whatever till you get to the optimal point for your operation. But the fact that 3PLs are making this kind of investment is a whole new phenomenon, and it just speaks to the way you can incrementally get into the technology and the high level of payback that they're seeing. Because we're very strong in the third party logistics arena, just as an aside, so we're seeing it very closely. And the number of 3PLs that are interested in these kind of mid range or lighter picking systems, not heavy automation, but other, it's often somewhat newer technologies. I think really speaks to the changes we're seeing out there in the marketplace.
Yep. And by the way, those robots, depending on the facility, they're not necessarily always replacing people. Because I talked to the guys from, I think it was the CEO or the president from DHL. He said that he says, well, we thought we would be replacing people with robots. He goes, the more robots we add to a facility, the more work we end up getting for that facility, and we end up hiring more people.
Yeah, and it's just everyone has a shortage, right? So I mean, there's jobs going unfilled. So if the robots are taking some of that slack, if you will, you hear very few, if any, case studies of people adopting these technologies and are having big labs. They're still looking for people even after the automation. So